this is a dynamic environment we are living in. It's changing every day. Nowadays, we hear this word disruptive technology every day. So it's the way we do business itself has changed, and hence the risks, corollary risk change. So cyber, whole lot of focus has come to disruptions, crisis management, cyber risks. These have become the topmost risks. In fact, we did a survey within BSI as to which is the risk which you feel is the most, it's something which is difficult to deal with, and they said reputational risk. That's the risk that they're worried about, because finally everything gets down to reputation. If you've lost your brand, you've lost it. Actually been ignoring the people part of the risk, the perceptions of the people, how they will react in a situation. So the human behavior and the culture part is continuously being ignored. So we have to take into that also into account when we are talking about the leadership risks, the governance risk. Now we've had so many corporate governance failures, not only in India, which led to a lot of legislation across the world. So we put in a fix for corporate governance, but is that really solving the problem? We need to think on that. So governance is a risk, leadership is a risk, culture of the organization is certainly a risk, reputational risk is the topmost risk. See, these are threats which have surfaced recently, whatever you call Wannacary, or you call it Petya or anything. But had the organizations been very careful about putting the right systems in place, if you had patched your systems on time, so this could have been avoided. If if you were just following a simple information security management system, say ISO 27001, you should have discovered that your patch management is not happening. Your firewall rule set is not reviewed, it's not correct. So if you just follow the basic hygiene of an organization, then of IT, these risks are not going to impact you. In fact, if you are aware of cyber security risks, information security risks, these could have easily been avoided. So CFO, what happens in organizations, I'll tell you why CFOs are doing it most of the time in India. Because the board is not aware of what is risk management. There is a CEO who has a gut feel about the risks in the organization, but he's not really he does not have the correct verbiage. CFO has been appointed. Now CFO, his exposure is to financial risks primarily, and CRO is appointed. Now he has got all the verbiage and everything, but there's no decision making powers with the CRO. That's the situation of the country right now. So CRO is there, but with no decision making. CFO has got all the decision making, but his awareness is to limit it to that financial part. Maybe at times treasury risk would be a very short term risk. So we have to have some kind of a collaborative environment wherein you can communicate and collaborate to have risk management. And that's what standards like ISO 31000, they are the ones which keep talking about, have communication, collaboration. Everyone in the organization owns the risk, not the CFO. Not only we do it within our organization, we also do it as a service. So we, being authors of standards and best practices, BSI actually does provide trainings to organizations on risk management, wherein we actually cover, it's a very simple framework that we talk about. It could be contained in one-pager document. It could be done in an A4. But the beauty is the principles of risk management that ISO 31000 talks about. We're talking about risk management should create value in the organization. We're talking about human and cultural aspects. We're talking about inclusivity. We're talking about customization. a whole lot of principles of risk management, and we audit and train against them. So certainly we do it in our own organization because we do it for the world. Without collaboration and communication, risk management will be a failure. So all the functions in the organization have to communicate, collaborate for risk management. Now, how do you do it effectively and efficiently? Everyone has to speak the same, and they have to have the same understanding. The baseline has to be the same for everyone on risk management. With the same baseline, same verbiage, the whole organization must understand what is okay for the organization, what is not okay for the organization. So all decisions in the organization, you communicate that this should be the awareness of what's right and what's not right. This is something for which, if this is the kind of impact of the decision, I may take this risk. If the impact is slightly higher, I cannot take it. So this kind of awareness in the whole organization has to be there. So, and that's how risk management, through only communication, collaboration, and finally all decisions would be made keeping in mind the risk management that you have, the framework that you have. Whatever you have in the policy, in the appetite, everything would be what is acceptable to the organization. So all the decisions are made on that basis, as well as you can have, whenever there's a complex problem, all the CXOs get together, communicate, collaborate, take a decision in an environment in which everything is, the entire communication is very transparent. Nobody shies away from talking about risks. If there is a risk which is, you're talking about risks which are absolutely undiscussable, they also have to be discussed in this forum. So in a very open environment, discuss the risks and keep the biases out of it. That's how you can communicate and collaborate to make a fantastic risk management program in the organization, wherein everyone, there's a risk culture, all the decisions are made taking into account the risk ethos of the organization.